on the Friday 2 weeks ago or whatever, we did difference of two squares and greatest common factor. And today we're doing basic trinomial, and we're doing a couple that are combinations of GCF and basic trinomial, okay? So when you see a trinomial, meaning three terms, which is like this, make sure everything's to the left of the equal sign and it equals 0 first, okay? And then you're going to ask yourself two questions. You're going to say to yourself, what times what is the last number, and added together is the middle number. So we've got to find two numbers that multiply together give you 42, and added together gives you negative 13. But 6 and 7, what kind of 6 and 7?
Negative 6 and negative 7.
Very good. So if you have negative 6 times negative 7, you'll get your 42, and negative 6 plus negative 7 will give you your 13, okay? So if you cannot figure out those numbers, everybody right now get your calculators and go to your y equals screen. Okay. In the first y equals screen, you're going to put your last number over x, which is equal to, it's 42 over x, that's your last number, right? In your second y equals screen, you're going to put minus x plus your middle number, which is negative x plus negative 13 or minus 13. Go ahead and put that in the y equal. All right, once we have these two in the calculator, we need to do a little bit of analysis. In order to get a positive number when we multiply two numbers together, they both have to be negative or they both have to be positive. But when we add them, they have to be negative here, so we know they're both going to be negative numbers. So everybody hit second window and hit table start 0, and then hit second graph, and go into the negative territory. And what you're looking for,
It says error on.
don't worry about the 0. You're always going to get an error on the 0. Don't worry about that, because you have a 0 in the basement. You're looking for two y columns that are the same. So go into the negative territory until you find two y columns that are the same. So you found this where these two are the same. That means these two are the numbers we're looking for, okay? Since negative 6 and negative 7 are the numbers, we can move in for the kill and put x minus 6, x minus 7 equals 0. And then you make each one of those equal to 0. So this is the first answer I want. The second answer would be x minus 6 equals 0, x equals 6, and x minus 7 equals 0, x equals 7. Now, if you graph this original equation right here, if you graph it, it should hit the x-axis at 6 and 7. So you can also test it that way to make sure you're right, okay? So you guys found that it's negative 5, 7, 7. So there's your two numbers, and the answer is going to be x minus 5, x plus 7 equals 0. So x equals the opposite, and x equals the opposite. And if you graph this equation in your y equals screen, it'll hit at 5 and negative 7. So these are the two answers I want. Okay, so now we're going to have a combination one. So let's say we have 3x squared. Now for your homework, if there is a leading coefficient, it's not a basic trinomial, but the ones on your homework will all be the same. We're going to deal with the other ones the next time, okay? So I'm going to look at that 3 in the front, and I'm going to see if that 3 goes into all the numbers in that equation. Does it?
It does.
So we can factor it out. So we take out the 3, and we have x squared plus 3x, because 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2, because 3 times 2 is 6, equals 0. And now we've got a basic trinomial in that parenthesis. So now we say what times what is 2, and added together is 3. Does anybody know? 2 and 1. Very good. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this one goes to x plus 2, x plus 1 with a 3 in the front. And that 3 really has no relevance. It just makes it skinnier or fatter. In this case, skinnier. So now we're going to have x equals negative 2 and x equals negative 1. So this is the first answer, this is the second answer.